A message from Dr. Jame, urologist and HIV specialist with over 20 years of experience in the United States. This is a medical warning every man over 25 needs to hear. 5 hidden HIV symptoms that can quietly appear on your penis long before you ever feel sick. Most men think HIV only spreads through blood or unsafe sex, but research shows the first signs often begin right there, on your own body. According to the CDC, more than 60% of male cases are diagnosed late because these early genital symptoms go unnoticed. I've seen too many men lose precious time simply because they assumed everything looked fine. I'm Dr. Jame, and in this video, I want to help you spot those hidden signals before it's too late and show you how to protect your sexual health with simple, practical steps. This isn't a video meant to scare you. It's one designed to empower you. Over the next few minutes, I'll share the 5 subtle symptoms most men miss, why they matter, and what you can do today to prevent long-term damage. Every solution I give comes directly from years of clinical experience helping men live safely, confidently, and stigma-free with or without HIV. And remember, number 9 is the number that always moves forward. If you truly care about your health and your future, comment number 9 right now. Even one simple subscribe means a lot to me. It motivates me to spend more time creating valuable videos that help men and families in our community live healthier lives. Symptom 1. Small, painless bumps that don't heal. From the heart, I hope you never face this, but please listen and check right now. Michael, 29, a sales engineer from Texas, noticed a tiny bump on the shaft after a weekend trip. No pain, no discharge, nothing dramatic. He assumed friction from a new condom and forgot it. 10 days later, the bump was still there. 2 pinhead bumps appeared nearby, flat and flesh-colored, easy to miss unless you look in bright light. For many men over 25, this pattern gets mistaken for ingrown hairs, sebum filaments, or razor irritation. Early HIV can subtly disrupt skin defenses and trigger microinflammation at the mucosa. That makes small lesions slower to heal and more likely to recur in clusters. Because they do not hurt, men delay action, giving uncertainty and worry room to grow. Here's what I want you to do tonight. After a warm shower, dry gently. Under strong bathroom light, inspect the glands and shaft. If you see a bump that survives beyond 10 to 14 days, photograph it with today's date. Do not pick, squeeze, or burn it with home remedies. Mark a calendar reminder. If a cluster grows, or if the spot lingers past 2 weeks, schedule a visit with a urologist or dermatologist and request an HIV and STI panel. If a recent high-risk contact happened within 72 hours, Michael finally took a photo on day 14 and messaged my clinic. We examined him, tested appropriately, and laid out a clear plan. He told me the hardest part was not the visit, but the weeks of guessing. Knowledge felt lighter than fear. Audience check. Have you ever seen a small, painless bump that outlasted a week? If yes, comment 1 so I can guide you in the upcoming solution sections. Your story helps other men speak up sooner. This is only the first small signal. Next, we will talk about the kind of itch and flaking that seems harmless, but keeps coming back. We'll make it unmistakably clear today. Bring a photo and timeline. Precise details help your doctor help you faster with real clarity. Symptom 2. Persistent itching, mild burning, or flaky skin. 2 weeks after his first appointment, Michael felt a slight itch around the head of his penis. He saw fine flakes of skin after showers and a light reddish tone that looked harmless. Like many men, he walked into a pharmacy, grabbed an antifungal cream, and expected a quick fix. For a few days, it seemed better. Then the itch returned, again and again. In my practice as a urologist, this is one of the most common self-treatment loops I see. Men believe they are solving a surface problem when the real issue lies beneath the surface. Early HIV infection can weaken the skin's natural barrier and disrupt the balance of harmless microbes. When that happens, the area becomes dry, itchy, and sensitive to heat or sweat. Because it looks like a simple rash, most men never connect it to their immune system. Here's what I tell every patient over 25. If the itch comes back twice after stopping cream, stop guessing and start testing. Wash with lukewarm water only, pat dry, and give the skin time to breathe. Keep a short note on your phone with dates of flare-ups. If it reappears more than 2 times in a month, ask for an HIV and STI screen, not to confirm a worst case, but to clear your doubt and treat the real cause. When Michael finally came back to see me, his skin looked better that day. He almost canceled the visit, but his record showed 3 recurrences in 6 weeks. That pattern told the truth his eyes couldn't see. We tested him thoroughly, adjusted his routine, and talked about long-term prevention using PrEP so he would never have to wonder again. He walked out relieved, not because the itch was gone, but because the uncertainty was. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had an itch that kept coming back no matter what you used? If so, comment 2 below so I can guide you through the next steps in our solution series. Sharing your experience helps other men recognize they're not alone. This second symptom may look harmless, but repetition is the warning light. In the next part, we'll talk about a signal you can actually smell, changes in odor or discharge that many ignore until they become impossible to hide. Symptom 3. Unusual discharge or stronger odor. A few weeks after his skin irritation settled, Michael noticed something new. Every morning, before showering, there was a faint, cloudy residue at the tip of his penis. It wasn't thick, not even enough to stain his underwear, but the smell was different. Sharp, almost metallic. He blamed his gym routine, switched soaps, and tried to drink more water. The change didn't go away. For many men, this is where denial starts. Discharge that doesn't burn, hurt, or leak continuously feels easy to ignore. Yet, this subtle symptom can be one of the earliest hints that your body's natural defense system is struggling. When the immune system weakens, including an early HIV infection, the balance of bacteria and yeast inside the urethra shifts. That imbalance can create an unusual smell, thin discharge, or a light crust that forms overnight. If you ever notice this, pause before assuming it's just hygiene. Wash with gentle soap once daily, nothing harsh. On the next morning, before urinating, use a clean tissue to gently press the tip. If you see a light stain, cloudy, yellowish, or white, take note of the date. If the odor or discharge lasts beyond 5 days or appears even when you haven't had recent sex, it's time to book an appointment. Ask your doctor specifically for a urine NAT test for STIs and an HIV screening. These tests can detect early changes that no eye can see. When Michael finally tested, the results showed a mild bacterial imbalance but no major infection. Yet the early check allowed us to confirm his HIV status as negative and set him up with PrEP for the future. He told me later, "Doctor, that test erased months of worry." And that's what awareness should do. Replace fear with clarity. Now, I'd like you to think honestly. Have you ever noticed a new smell or discharge that lingered for more than a few days? If yes, comment 3 so I can walk you through the right testing steps in the next video section. This was Symptom 3. Invisible but unmistakable. Next, we'll move from what you can see or smell to what you can feel, deep inside your body. A quiet swelling that might be telling you something more serious. Symptom 4. Painless swelling of a groin lymph node. 2 weeks after his last check, Michael was doing fine. No bumps, no rash, no discharge. He felt relieved. But one morning, while drying off after a shower, his fingers brushed against a small lump high in his right groin. It was soft, smooth, and moved slightly under the skin. It didn't hurt at all. He almost ignored it, thinking it might be a muscle knot from his workouts. But the truth is, this small lump was his body talking to him. Your groin lymph nodes act as filters, part of your immune army. When viruses or bacteria enter through sexual contact, these nodes can quietly swell as they collect and destroy harmful cells. In early HIV, the immune system often works over time, and swelling may appear on one or both sides of the groin. Because it's painless, many men overlook it until it's been there for weeks or months. If you ever feel something like this, don't panic. Here's what to do. Stand in front of a mirror with one leg slightly raised. Run your fingertips gently along the crease where your thigh meets your pelvis. Compare both sides. A healthy node feels flat. A swollen one feels like a small bean under the skin. If that lump lasts longer than 2 weeks, grows in size, or you find more than one, schedule an appointment with a urologist or primary care doctor. It may not be HIV, but it deserves a proper check. When Michael returned for a follow-up, he told me, "Doctor, I almost didn't mention it because it didn't hurt." That single detail, no pain but still there, told me exactly what to test next. We ran a standard blood panel and another HIV test. Thankfully, it was still negative, but his awareness had bought him priceless peace of mind. So, take a moment and check right now. Have you ever felt a small lump that stayed longer than it should? Comment 4 if you have, so I can guide you in understanding what it might mean and how to get it checked safely. Because the next symptom isn't about what you see or feel on the outside, it's about how your confidence, desire, and energy silently change on the inside. Symptom 5. Lower libido or erection problems. After nearly 3 months of small, confusing symptoms, Michael began noticing something harder to admit. He wasn't feeling the same desire. He skipped gym sessions, slept less, and brushed off intimacy with his girlfriend, saying he was just tired. The truth was deeper. His body was giving him another early warning. When the immune system is under pressure, from infection, stress, or inflammation, it affects everything from hormones to blood circulation. HIV, in its early stage, can quietly lower testosterone, causing fatigue, reduced sex drive, and weaker erections. It's not about age, it's about energy distribution. Your body prioritizes survival, not reproduction, when it senses a threat. Most men misread this as burnout or anxiety, but persistent changes in sexual performance are part of your overall health story, not just your bedroom story. Here's what I told Michael during our next visit. We're not only testing for HIV, we're checking your hormones, blood flow, and overall energy system. We ordered a morning testosterone test, a basic blood panel, and repeated his HIV test to stay safe. Everything came back normal, yet the process taught him the truth. Self-awareness is strength. By checking early, he didn't just protect his health, he protected his peace of mind. If you ever feel your energy, confidence, or desire slowly fading without an obvious cause, don't wait. Track it for 2 weeks. Note your sleep hours, morning erections, and mood. If the pattern continues, talk openly with your doctor. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Early testing, balanced nutrition, and lifestyle correction can restore your vitality long before any permanent damage occurs. Now, I want you to reflect for a second. Have you noticed your interest in intimacy dropping recently? Even slightly? If yes, comment 5 below. Let's talk about it together because awareness always comes before recovery. We've now completed the 5 hidden symptoms that every man over 25 should know. In the next section, I'll show you how to connect these signals using one simple rule, a framework I teach all my patients called See, Sense, Scan. It's the key to catching problems early and staying one step ahead. After hearing all 5 symptoms, some of you might be wondering, how can I remember all of this without feeling overwhelmed? That's exactly why I created a simple rule for every man I treat in my clinic. I call it See, Sense, Scan. 3 short words that can literally save your life if you apply them consistently. See. It begins with your eyes. Take 1 minute after every shower to look at yourself. Not in shame, not in fear, but with respect. Observe your skin, your groin, the color, and any new spots or bumps. HIV doesn't appear out of nowhere. It leaves traces the eyes can catch when you look with awareness, not judgment. Sense. The second step is about how you feel. Pay attention to subtle discomfort, itching, dryness, changes in odor, or swelling. Your body speaks in whispers before it ever screams. Learning to sense those whispers early is what keeps men healthy, powerful, and confident. Scan. Finally, scan. Not with your eyes, but with medical tools. Get tested regularly, every 6 months or sooner if you're sexually active or notice changes. The scan gives you facts, not fears. Knowledge always feels lighter than guessing. I want you to do the same. Starting tonight, see, sense, scan. Look, feel, and test. That's how prevention becomes power. Because in the next section, I'll tell you about the mistakes men often make even after knowing what to look for. Mistakes that can undo all your effort if you're not careful. Now that you know what to look for and how to use the See, Sense, Scan rule, let's talk about the 5 biggest mistakes I see men make. The same ones that turn small, treatable issues into long-term problems. Mistake 1. Self-diagnosing and self-medicating. Michael, our 29-year-old friend, did this too. He searched online, bought creams, and tried to fix things himself. It worked for a few days, then came back worse. When you guess, you delay real answers. If a problem lasts longer than 10 days, stop guessing and let a doctor examine it. Mistake 2. Feeling embarrassed to get checked. Too many men believe talking about their private parts is shameful. But remember, your doctor sees these cases every day. We're not judging you. We're protecting you. Shame is the wall between early detection and late discovery. Break that wall. Mistake 3. Trusting a single negative test. You test once, it's negative, and you relax forever. But HIV has a window period. It can take weeks for the virus to show up in tests. If you had a risk exposure, retest after 4 to 6 weeks, then again at 3 months. 1 test gives peace of mind, 2 gives certainty. Mistake 4. Ignoring minor warning signs. Most men wait for pain before acting, but the early stage of HIV is almost always painless. If something unusual lasts beyond 2 weeks, rash, swelling, discharge, or fatigue, it deserves a check. Mistake 5. Waiting for a crisis. Some men only seek help when they lose weight, develop fevers, or feel sick. At that point, the virus has already gained ground. Don't wait until your body forces you to listen. Act when it first whispers. When I asked Michael which mistake scared him most, he said, "The time I thought silence meant safety." That's exactly what I want you to remember. Silence isn't safety. Awareness is. If you recognize any of these mistakes in yourself, comment 6 below. It's not about guilt, it's about growth. Because in the next section, I'll give you a 3-step daily routine. Simple, realistic habits that protect your health and restore your confidence as a man. If you've been listening closely, this next part is for you, the man watching right now. Whether you're 25 or 55, this is the part that changes everything. The moment where awareness becomes action. You can't control what already happened, but you can control what happens next. Here's the simple 3-step routine I teach every patient, from busy professionals like Michael to men working night shifts and single fathers balancing life. It takes less than 5 minutes, yet it can protect you for decades. Step 1. Observe once a month. After your shower, when you're already relaxed and alone, take 1 minute to look and feel. Check the skin, the color, any bumps, dryness, or discharge. This is not about fear, it's about ownership. Your body is your responsibility, not your embarrassment. Early detection is not weakness, it's leadership over your own life. Step 2. Test every 6 months. Even if you feel perfectly healthy, get an HIV test and basic STI screening twice a year. If you're sexually active, talk to your doctor about PrEP for prevention or PEP if you had recent exposure. Remember, testing is not a sign of mistrust in your partner. It's a sign of maturity and respect. Step 3. Strengthen your system. Eat real food, not processed substitutes. Sleep 7 hours. Exercise 3 times a week, even a simple walk. Cut alcohol and smoking by half. These habits don't just improve your energy, they also raise your immunity and sexual confidence. You'll feel the difference within weeks. Michael adopted this exact plan. 6 months later, he sent me an email with a subject line I'll never forget: undetectable and unstoppable. His results were clear, his energy was back, and most importantly, he no longer lived with fear. Gentlemen, that's what I want for you. Start small. 1 observation, 1 test, 1 good meal, and watch your confidence grow with your health. If you promise yourself to apply at least one of these steps starting today, comment 7 below. Let me know you're ready to take ownership, because your future health begins the moment you decide to act. In the final section, we'll tie everything together: the truth, the hope, and your next move forward. Stay with me. You've reached the most important part of this video, not because it's the end, but because it's your new beginning. If you've stayed with me through every sign, every story, and every solution, it means you're not just watching. You're choosing awareness. And that single choice separates fear from freedom. Let's go over what we've learned together. We started with 5 hidden symptoms, the quiet warnings most men miss: small, painless bumps, itching or flaky skin that keeps returning, unusual discharge or odor, a painless swollen groin node, and finally, a drop in desire and energy that affects your confidence. Each of these can seem small, even harmless, but together they form a pattern that demands your attention. They are not punishments. They're signals, gentle reminders from your body asking you to slow down, to check, to care. Then we talked about the see, sense, scan method. See what's changing, sense what feels different. Scan with medical tests so you get facts, not fear. Simple words, but they carry the power to save your life. We looked at Michael's story, a reminder that ordinary men, busy, responsible, loving, can still miss early signs when life gets loud. He learned that doing nothing costs more than doing something small. We also met Daniel, who followed the rule early and is now living proof that knowledge and quick action keep you strong, healthy, and undetectable. We corrected the 5 big mistakes: guessing instead of testing, shame instead of honesty, trusting one negative test forever, ignoring mild symptoms, and waiting for a crisis. And then I gave you the 3-step routine. Observe monthly, test every 6 months, and strengthen your immune system with consistent habits. So here's what I want you to remember most. Knowing is power. Acting is protection. Silence is risk. You don't have to be afraid of HIV. You just have to be aware. The virus is no longer a death sentence. It's a medical condition that millions manage safely every day. With treatment and prevention, people live long, full, and meaningful lives. Gentlemen, your health is not just your body. It's your family's peace of mind, your career's stability, your confidence and intimacy. When you protect yourself, you're protecting everyone who loves you. That's strength. That's leadership. Before we finish, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for caring. Every view, every comment, every share helps break the silence around men's health. If this message spoke to you, take a moment right now. Comment number 9, because number 9 always moves forward. It's the number of growth, recovery, and resilience. When you comment 9, you're not just responding to me. You're declaring to yourself, I choose to move forward. And if you found value in this conversation, hit subscribe. One simple click gives me motivation to keep creating more honest, stigma-free content that helps men like you live with clarity and confidence. You're not alone, my friend. You're part of a growing community of men who choose knowledge over fear, action over silence. Keep your eyes open, your mind calm, and your faith strong, because life rewards those who take care of themselves. I'm Dr. Jame, and this was my message for you. See early, act early, live fully. Until next time, stay aware, stay strong, and stay moving forward.